Hello, hello, hello. This is your girl Evadne. Welcome back to the Impact Youth Leadership Summit 2021. My name is Evadne, and I'm joined by the next speaker, who is Steven Van Derodar. And Steven is a physical therapist, and he's a state president for JCI New Jersey. He's a really good friend of mine, and you can read more about Steven on our web page, and you could see his full bio over there, and be more familiar with what he does. But for right now, we're going to just go ahead and welcome Steven in the place and let him start his presentation. Stevens, welcome.
Thank you so much, Eve, Lily, McLily. You've been such a great friend, and good afternoon to everyone. My name is Stevenson Van Derodar, and when asked about this topic, I feel that this is a perfect opportunity for me to share my personal story. I am the kind of a multifaceted person whose interests in life include that of leadership and entrepreneurship. I am not necessarily the most successful person in business yet, or the best leader in the world yet, but I am someone who has been able to live a life with these interests. My interest in leadership started when I was young, and then entrepreneurship followed. I also believe that my interest in leadership has allowed me to be the entrepreneur, or being able to see the potential in me. At 15, I was an elected official in our local government unit representing the youth, and I also became a leader in school. I became the House of Representative in our university for 2 terms, and I also became the governor of the College of Physical Therapy. All of this was because the opportunities presented itself, and I took advantage of what was available. And in the church, I was also the vice president for the youth ministry, and in the community, and in almost every possible opportunity. This has helped me prepare my confidence. When I went into sales at the age of 24, by 25-year-old, I was already experiencing earning #1 million peso in the Philippines. And I believe that was the result from the leadership that I've gained, the impact of networking, and the kind of confidence that leadership has brought you to. And I would say that at 26, 27, I have traveled to numerous countries in Asia, in Europe, and also in North America. These all resulted from the leadership that I've learned at a much younger age. And I would say that looking at my timeline from 15 years old up to today, I am still involved now with leadership and entrepreneurship. So perhaps I should say that the reason I developed a passion for leadership and business was maybe because of the environment that I was on. I lived in a community where I see a lot of things that need to be corrected, or is that there were ways where we could be of help. On business, we had a family business of our own, and that also shaped the interest in me. But one thing I have noticed, the more I succeeded in leadership, the more successful I became as an entrepreneur, or maybe because depending on how you put time into it. But what is leadership? So we define leadership as the lifting of one's vision to higher heights. It can also mean as the art of mobilizing others to want to struggle for shared aspirations. In the Bible, leadership is also being spoken as Jesus had a vision and he led by being a role model to his 12 disciples. This means that he has changed the lives of many people and still is doing so. So leadership is very important in all of our lives because it's something that can lead us to a greater vision, that can lead us to a place where we all can achieve success. And I should say that if you want to be a leader, first and foremost, you have to want it. You have to make a conscious decision that, yes, I want to be a leader. And yes, I want to seek for growth. And yes, I can be the person who can influence others. So first and foremost, it has to start with you wanting to be a leader. And it's quite fortunate that there are actually numerous organizations out there that are leadership organization in nature. And I should say that, JCI, or the Junior Chamber International, is one very effective leadership organization as a global organization present in 124 countries. This organization will teach you individual development, a lot of skills such as individual development, community development, business management, international affairs, networking, and so on. I have been a member of JCI since I was um, 20, 27 years old. And up to today, I'm still a member for 12 years now, or 13. I have been deeply involved with it, and at the same time has grown with it. It has a very great impact to my personal life and professional life, such that I have learned the values of leadership into my everyday life. And Toastmasters International is one organization also which has a leadership component and a communications component. The more you lead members, the more you manage people in the chapters or in the clubs, the more you become a leader. So first and foremost, you have to want to be a leader. Another is you have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself in that if you want to be a leader, you have to go to trainings where it will allow you to become all the available resources and to become the influential person in your organization. And another thing is that for you to be a leader, you have to commit to your development. That means you have to seek for growth. You have to attend trainings as much as possible. You have to submit yourself to development platforms where it can boost your leadership potential more. So the more you get yourself trained, the more you get to have responsibilities, the more you become much of a leader. So overall, that's what I can say about leadership. And I know that leadership for the youth and to your becoming an adult life, this is very much crucial to your development. So again, first you have to want it. Next is you have to invest in yourself. And the third is you have to commit to your development. Next is we will be talking about entrepreneurship. We know that entrepreneurship is something also very important, and entrepreneurship is also something that you have to want. There are a lot of reasons why one may want to be an entrepreneur, such that there's independence, there is flexibility in schedule, there is income potential, there is a vast creativity, and there's a lot of decision-making skills. But first and foremost, we have to understand what is entrepreneurship. So a lot of definitions have been found about entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship is always about finding the innovation, the risk-taking that is essential part of one's ability in succeeding. An entrepreneur is an individual who, rather than working as an employee, runs a small business and assumes all the risks and reward of a given business venture, idea, good or service offered for sale. The entrepreneur is commonly seen as a business leader and innovator of new ideas and business processes. Another would be the idea of one who is not only about survival, but entrepreneurship is exactly what it is and what nurtures creative thinking. So in my aspect of entrepreneurship, I have done a couple of small businesses. When I was in a liquor distribution industry, immediately after that, I made a company in the Philippines of distributing liquor products. And then eventually I have had entrepreneurial spirit in distribution for some items in retail, and as well as I have done some businesses or related to which in physical therapy. So all of this was as a result of my interest to be really independent in becoming the boss of my own, at the same time to have much of what I have envisioned to be as a successful businessman. And I feel that it's very important for you to have that sense of entrepreneurship in you, because that gives you much of a freedom and much ability to grow as a business-minded person. And actually, I have here a quiz on you to finding whether or not how much of an entrepreneur you are. I have just made a printout of this, and maybe I can quickly just mention about this. So you can put yes if this is true, and you can put no if this is not us to you. So question number one, I want to control how much money I make. The harder I work, the more I make. Yes or no? I would like you to put it in in a piece of paper. I want independence, to be my own boss and have no one to answer but myself and to my customers. Yes or no? I want to have flexible working hours. I don't mind working day and night, weekends, as long as I am the one who chooses to do so. Yes or no? I am good at making decisions. Yes or no? I want to create things. Yes or no? I often predict trends or things before they happen. Yes or no? I am always, when I have a good idea or notice an opportunity, I do something about it. I seize opportunities. Yes or no? I like to constantly improve things. Yes or no? I like change and look forward to it. Yes or no? I have expertise, a skill, a product, or service that is worth buying. Yes or no? I have worked in a business like one I want to start. I have previous experience in this industry. Yes or no? I have a base of contracts and potential future clients who might require my services or products, enough to keep your business afloat in a year one. Yes or no? I have trustworthy contacts in the legal and accounting professions to assist me. Yes or no? I enjoy contract chasing, sales and negotiating, willing and dealing. Yes or no? I have savings or someone to financially support me through rough spots, at least the first 6 months in business. Yes or no? I have the moral support of my family and their significant other. Yes or no? I have good physical health. Yes or no? I have good emotional health. I can stay enthusiastic even when the going gets tough. Yes or no? I am willing and are able to give up many hours of my personal life to ensure the smooth running of my business. Yes or no? I like to work alone most of the time and I am self-reliant. Yes or no? I am organized enough to manage my tasks and prioritize my time. Remember, no one is watching it. Yes or no? I am disciplined. I finish what I start. Yes or no? I believe that most of the time, the customer is always right. Am I willing to let a point go to keep a customer? Yes or no? I believe in the saying, you have to spend money to make money. Yes or no? I always try to learn lessons from my failures. Yes or no? It is easy for me to motivate others to work with me. Yes or no? I am ready to make sacrifices in order to succeed. Yes or no? Where others see problems, I see possibilities. Yes or no? I am a curious person and I'm willing to learn. Yes or no? I want to build something that will be recognized publicly. Yes or no? I try to be the best at what I like to do. Yes or no? I am capable of seeing many solutions to a problem. Yes or no? I am very careful with every last dollar. Yes or no? I do not get stressed easily. Yes or no? When I take a project, I have confidence that I will carry out successfully. Yes or no? I like to lead others. Yes or no? I always give the best of myself in everything that I do. Yes or no? I see the glass half full rather than half empty. Yes or no? I believe that I make my own luck. Yes or no? These are quite very true questions when you ask yourself whether or not how much of an entrepreneur you are. And in you summarize all the answers to this, yes and no's, it goes to show that if you answered 31 to 40 of those, it says that you are most likely to be successful in business. It sounds like you've got the basic attitudes and personality traits needed for successful beginnings and long-term success. If you scored 21 to 30, it means that you can make a business succeed. You might want to speak to several people, such as friends, family, counselors, or coaches, and review some of the issues raised in the questionnaire, especially where you answered no before you begin the process of going out on your own. If you answered 11 to 20, it says that you seem to be in a place where you need to develop some of the qualities, attitudes, or proper support to be in business. Don't be discouraged. With some work, skill building, or partner who complements your skills, you can still do it. If you scored 0 to 10, you may not be quite ready to work on your own at this point in your life. However, with this program, we can help you get ready to have business success in the future, and many of the skills are good for employment. It means about having to get into the resources where you can be successful. And there are actually 5 signs on what it takes to be an entrepreneur. I'm just getting it from some sources. One is that, especially if you can execute your ideas, that's very important. Another is that when you genuinely care about what you do or what you want to do. Another thing is that when you're able to get over failures in life and business, because in business you can fail a lot of times, and it's always in succeeding that you can feel the sweetness of success. It's life can be, it's not all successful. You can fail a lot of times, but at the same time, an entrepreneur really is one who is resilient enough to be able to surmount all of those challenges. Another is when you are a passionate, lifelong learner. Again, it talks about hardships. It talks about how is it not easy to survive? How is it not easy to really weather the storm and things like that? And another is you have to, yeah, those were the ones. And maybe I should also say that why you should consider to be an entrepreneur if you're still thinking about it. One would be the opportunity to control your destiny. Number 2 would be the freedom to spend your time doing what's important to you. 3 would be unlimited earning possibilities. 4 would be location independence. And number 5 would be the chance to leave a lasting legacy. I know that entrepreneurship and leadership are 2 different topics or life qualities or aspirations. But at the same time, I would like to believe that they kind of blend, so that the more of a leader you are, I think the more that you can be a successful entrepreneur. And I just personally feel that being an entrepreneur gives me an excitement such that every day I could talk about it to friends. I could talk about my dreams. I could talk about my plans, the opportunities there are. when you consider the wealth of the world is so much of resources that it would be a pity if we don't take advantage of this. I mean, look at if McLily, she is an entrepreneur. She utilizes her her resources, her network, and abilities to be able to pursue with her business. Same as probably others there who take multiple jobs and who still have the entrepreneurial spirit within them, even if it's not really their principal activities. But to have a sense of entrepreneurship is something also that allows you yourself to really grow more of as a person. And maybe if you want to really to explore these two, try to spend time, reading books and having also actual experiences. If you want to try entrepreneurship, you can try to get into something that can be minimal, that you can get to try to make an income of something, and something that you will enjoy the money ins and outs of your endeavor, and many other things. The last thing that I should say is that have that passion in you and leave that within you, because I know that you will be able to benefit of all of these efforts that you're making.
This event is sponsored by Ed McLilly Teas. Visit edmclillyteas.com for the finest teas and herbal teas sourced from mainly small organic farms all over the world. Visit edmclilly.com for your purchases or WhatsApp at 347-995-6556.
I think for today, that is just that. Eve, are we on time?
Yeah, we have more time, so we will take some questions.
Okay.
Okay. Tell me, let's jump straight into legacy. What does it mean to build a legacy?
What it means
Why should young people be thinking about legacy?
For business and leadership? Legacy is an imprint of your excellence. Legacy is a memory of your excellence. It is important to build a legacy because it talks about your definition as a person, your aspirations in life, and how you have succeeded all of this. And legacy also is something that you can, build on the continuity of what you have started, what you believe in, and how will the dream continue in years to come. That's the importance of legacy. And I am working on my personal legacy, not only in business, but even in leadership, because it's only through legacy that we can continue the work of humanity in bringing the best of how we can impact humanity in our existence.
Oh, I'm happy you mentioned that leadership. You're trying to create a legacy in leadership as well, and in most cases, in being a volunteer or working in a voluntary organization, speak to the value of building your leadership legacy in a voluntary setting. How has that helped you?
Well, I would say that the best experience really in life is trying to spend hours to be in it, like having to immerse yourself in situations where you feel the workings of the organization. Lead JCI, as an example, is a leadership organization. It might be termed as voluntary, non-voluntary. Voluntary in the sense that you're not being paid to do the work, but it could also mean non-voluntary because we are not just volunteers. We are there to affect change, but at the same time to get the best of the principles of the values in there in a way that we do not as a volunteer, but also to get the best of what it is. It can be more of a business understanding, community relations, international affairs. We are volunteers in the sense that we are not paid to do our responsibilities. We are not paid to impact others. So it is a conscious effort in being able to maximize our opportunities and be an instrument of what the world wants us to be in terms of sharing the resources of the world, and at the same time amplifying how effective we can be as leaders.
Okay, great, wonderful. You also spoke about independence, the importance of being independent. Take us back to what age did you start building your independence?
Well, actually, after college, I didn't ask anymore from my parents single centavo, and I know that the Philippine setting is different from the American setting. In American setting, at age 18, you know, you have to be independent for yourself and all like that. But in my case, I treated it as if that the moment I stepped out of college already, I wanted to build on my own, and it was just impressive on my part that whether I had a lot of hard work that I went through, I still managed to be successful. And getting into real estate was an entry for me to be able to see the potential in being business. I literally sold apartments. I literally sold houses. And that was a turning point in my life where I told to myself that, oh, I think I am really good in sales. I think I am really good in entrepreneurship, because I was able quite I succeeded in all of what was required of me. And in fact, that was the reason why I got assigned to New York and New Jersey. And at that, I was at the age of what, 28, 27 back then. But prior to that, I have traveled the world because I have hit 100 million quota in real estate. And the year after that, everything was just a repeat of itself. And the more you grow in business, in entrepreneurship, the more that your targets are higher and your ambition gets higher, and you are just unstoppable in a way. That's why in the future, and I'm being open to this, my dream as an entrepreneur would actually be being able to sell numerous properties internationally, and maybe that could be my way of being able to really appreciate international real estate and the global communities that we are in. So maximizing that as a perspective of being able to trans-sail around the world.
Yeah, wonderful. Sounds good to me. Let me ask you this, Stevenson. For young people who may be watching, they're interested in business, but they don't have a cent to start. So you know, they don't know where to really begin if you're broke, basically.
Mhm.
What would you advise those young people to do?
I think it's very important to check on how they can probably start capital with probably getting a loan from somewhere. Start with very minimal capital loans if there are, and maybe gather resources from friends. They can owe a loan of, personal loan of a few, a few hundreds or a few thousands, so that they can start with, and then they can just repay it on an installment basis, because obviously it is really so hard to start off with something without nothing. And it's almost the reason why other people and other families are successful, because their families help them achieve the capital that they needed. And maybe this is the best time really that we have to work on our relationship with families and friends, because they are our first and foremost, the supporters that we have,
Right.
who would want us to see successful in our endeavors. So friends and family, I know of somebody who has spent his savings of 30,000 to do his 1 billion earning or transactions in real estate now. So it started from his savings. But if we get to lower to that amount, definitely that can be achieved by borrowing money from friends and family, and also utilize really the capital lending opportunities there are. And definitely you have to be responsible and you have to repay them, at the amount that it is required based on the contract that you're having. So make use of the resources.
Okay. Do you think that someone has to have like a degree in something to be able to run a business?
Not necessarily. A lot of, it's common knowledge to us that a lot of successful people were actually, self learned individuals. What they did miss in school, they compensated it in their actual learning of their business, and also now they can cope up with having to get into the books available there are. There's a lot of online resources where one can learn business. So really, I think the principal requirement of entrepreneurship is attitude. You have to have that attitude. You have to be willing to want for something. If you want to be a millionaire, tell the world you want to be a millionaire. I told the people when I was young, I want to buy an island, even if I know how unaffordable that would be is, right? But that gives you a sense of what is your ambition. You have to have a sense of ambition too, to be an entrepreneur. Otherwise, where would you get yourself excited to if you don't have that? So that's why ambition is very important for you to get motivated, to do the work, to be successful in life.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So you're gonna tell me that for a young person, I am not rich, I don't have family legacy, I don't have rich aunts and uncles. You can put your life on a path from an early age where you can find innovative ways to build some amount of wealth, also at the same time being a leader.
Yes.
That's quite doable. In your case, so that's wonderful. In your case, I know you're a professional. You're a physical therapist, so you have a regular job, a regular day job, right? But although you do that, you're president for this and you're president for that, and you're on that board, and you're still able to do business, big business. You're into real estate, you're into all of these things. How do you manage yourself and your time to be able to get so many things done and done properly? Because I see you run projects and I know you're very effective in whatever you're doing. So how do you manage all of these things and all of these various boards that you sit on?
I know. Well, number one,
because you're always out doing entertaining and eating out and all of that.
I know.
You are so busy. How do you manage all of those things, Steven?
Well, number one is you really have to make time management, and another important of the importance of time management is that to really see which matters most that you need to be present, that you shouldn't miss, and that revolves also into your plan of actions. Say if you put in your plan of actions that this is a major project that you have to do, then make sure that that particular project or that activity is something that you shouldn't be missing. So again, refer to your plan of action, which matters most, and based on that, you will prioritize your activities. And another would be, I would say that there are really times that you cannot be available, but make yourself available. Like for example, in this case that we have, it was hard for me to try to get a schedule, but we managed it. So just don't say no, because there's always opportunities in saying yes. And this is a proof of me saying yes, that I want the opportunity. I want to be able to take the experience. I want to be able to share my personal story to a number of Jamaicans who are watching us. So in the sense is, you have to be an open-minded, try to fit a schedule as much as possible, even if it's hard for you. But again, on all of this, you have to make your time management.
Okay, sounds pretty reasonable to me. Sounds pretty reasonable. Thank you so much, Stevenson. I'm pretty sure there are comments in the group, in the chat on Facebook that you could look at later and see if there are any questions there for you. I really appreciate you. And I think
you.
I'm blessed to have a friend like you that you could
Likewise
come
too.
here.
You're such a rock star. I didn't realize much more of your impact now that you're actually doing. You know, you are a personality. Look at that.
Thank
And
you.
we can still do more. We can still do more partnerships. Remember?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think now is the time we're gonna rock that project in Harlem too. You
I
know,
know.
I'm not tied up with a day job anymore, so I can do much more than
That's good.
I would have done normally. So wonderful, Stevenson. Great. I hope you're doing an awesome job over there in Jersey. I'm pretty sure you are. And
Yeah.
I just like how you would move from New York to Jersey and do another presidency over there. And before months later, you're going to be doing something big again somewhere else. You're
Yeah.
always inspiring, always moving, always doing. You're really a mover and shaker. And that's what I like about you.
Thank you so much. You too. You
Thank
too.
you.
Look at you now. Much more, right? Yeah.
Thank you, Stevenson.
You're probably the next Oprah, I think.
With the money.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Stevenson. We'll continue to connect as we go through this project that
Thank
I'm
you.
trying to build a whole community, bringing back the village that raised the child. So we're doing this as a global community.
Wow, cool.
All righty. Take care now. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
This event is sponsored by Ev McLilly Teas. Visit evmclillyteas.com for the finest herbal teas sourced from mainly small organic farms all over the world. To make your purchase, go to evmclilly.com, that's evmclilley.com, or WhatsApp 347-995-6556. That's 347-995-6556.